Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
There's a video I've been seeing circulating around. I didn't want to address it just because I thought it sounded ridiculous and probably wasn't true. But when enough of you guys send me a video and it's the same video, chances are I'm probably going to cover it. The caption of this video reads, "The number one indicator of a child's ability to thrive in the world, ... is the quality of their mother's happiness and mental well-being." And so this was a shock to the host on the podcast who heard this from the woman, because we know that the data says a two-parent household with a mother and father in the home is what produces the best outcome for the children. And so here's the video. I'm going to play it. Is she telling the truth? Side note, Drea Michelle, the 40-year-old proud single mother who got pregnant by the 21-year-old, she just posted she's going through a tough time. Speaking of single mothers, she says, "I feel like I am at the bottom of a pile of heavy humans. Most hours of the day, I feel like I'm struggling to breathe." In the last video I did, I said she was going to be crying and complaining about how hard it is to go through life by herself, because she says she's interested in being a single mother and not necessarily marrying somebody and having a two-parent household for children. I said it's going to end in tears. I didn't know it was going to end in tears. Within a few hours of me saying it's going to end in tears. But anyways, more on that later. Let's get into this video. Let's go.
Do you guys know the number one outcome or the number one indicator for how children grow up to thrive, whether or not they actually do?
I thought it was the daddy in the house.
Absolutely not.
What's
Believe
that?
it or not, it is the quality of their mother's happiness.
Wow.
Damn.
The quality of their mother's happiness is the number one indicator as to whether or not a child will grow up to thrive. Because if you have a depressed mother, if you have an
By the way, they put that music in the background there to convince you that what she's telling you is the truth. I do it all the time here on the Coffee Pot too. Don't worry.
anxious mother, if you have a mother with post-traumatic stress disorder who is having to disconnect from her own body, she cannot show up to nurture you. She cannot show up to support you. She cannot fully step into that space. And what she will teach you about being in relationships with other people, whether you can trust them, whether you can trust yourself, whether you can actually be committed and connected to somebody and know that they will reciprocate that to you in a healthy way. She teaches you that not through her words, but through her actions. And so what I will say to you, sis, is that you have to decide for yourself how you want your children not to just grow up in your house, but to grow up in this world, because you are teaching them that right now through how you are living your life and showing them how life is supposed to be in this roof with this man.
All right. So I'm not sure of the context behind this response that she's giving to the woman, because, you know, it's a short and we know things can get lost in translation with the shorts. But the very clear message here that's being taken in by the audience is a woman's happiness is the most important determinant factor in how children turn out, and not necessarily what a lot of people believe the data says, which is a two-parent household. That includes a man inside that house. And so this was a really interesting conversation that was had in the comment section down below. Let's get into it. Somebody immediately commented and said, "I'm not challenging this, but I would love to see the data behind this. This is the first time I'm hearing it, so I need data." And almost 200 likes on that comment, which is followed by another person who says, "Sounds like more bullshit if you ask me. Just another post showing how women will have this inflated notion that somehow everything revolves around them and how they feel." And that's my problem with what she's saying right there, is while I do understand her point of view, a mother who is irregulated, a mother who is stressed out, a mother who is miserable and depressed won't make the ideal mother for those children. It sounds good, but her saying that it's solely dependent on her happiness does not sound correct. And we'll find that out as we keep going. Let's check out another comment here that says, "No, it's fathers being absent. backed by real data and evidence. So this guy's going by what he knows. Another person who says no study to prove that when I looked it up. So this guy did research and he couldn't find anything. Here's a woman that says, amazing how science is confirming we and our foremothers and forefathers have been telling y'all. So, this commenter is a chick who's like, yeah, of course it revolves around the happiness of a woman. And my challenge to you is, have you ever tried to make a woman happy? Good luck. I'm not saying it's impossible, right? But all things are possible through God, right? And so everybody was wanting to know, where did this study come from? And what the hell is she talking about? Well, then came this post from a woman who actually posted a video of another chick who talks about the study. And this woman says, so here's the research study that backs this up. And she shared the link right there. And so I put the link in and it took me to this video that's titled, A Mother's Happiness Determines Childhood Success. And so this video is like 14 minutes long of her reading through this study. We don't have that type of time here on the Coffee Pod, boring stuff. We like coffee and excitement. So instead of sitting down and listening to this 14-minute long video, you can go check this out for yourself, by the way, if you'd like. I'll make sure I pin it to the top of the comment section. I'm going to ask Miss Coffee to summarize this video for us and give us the key points and takeaways from this study. Let's get it. Miss Coffee, could you please summarize this video and the content of the study for us, please?
Sure. Maternal happiness significantly impacts a child's development, with a focus on emotional regulation and responsive parenting, contrasting the impact of marital satisfaction. Paternal presence contributes less to child skill formation. Key takeaways. Maternal happiness plays a crucial role in child development, affecting emotional regulation and responsiveness. Marital satisfaction and happiness are separate factors influencing child outcomes. Paternal presence is beneficial for discipline and supervision but contributes less significantly to child skill formation.
And so the study focuses on marital happiness and paternal presence. Now, a lot of people assume that everybody knows everything, and I just want to get some definitions down here. Ms. Coffee, paternal presence, could you give us a definition for what paternal presence? Let's start with just the word maternal. Ms. Coffee, what does maternal mean?
Maternal pertains to motherhood or the qualities associated with a mother. It refers to characteristics, behaviors, or attributes typically associated with mothers or the maternal role, such as nurturing, caring, protective, and supportive. Maternal can also refer to biological or genetic relations through the mother's side of the family, such as maternal grandparents or maternal instincts. In various contexts, maternal can describe actions, attitudes, or relationships related to motherhood or the maternal figure.
All right, so simply put, that first line pretty much describes what maternal means. So maternal pertains to motherhood or the qualities associated with being a mother. And so here's the question, right? When it comes to maternal happiness, being happy and being a mother, the first question I have is, how can being a single mother, as we know in the Black community, children are born at like a 70% rate out of wedlock. So then naturally, my next question is, how can being a single mother, which a lot of mothers are today, especially in the Black community, but how does being a single mother with no help affect maternal happiness? That's my question. We'll ask Ms. Coffee that. Ms. Coffee, first of all, it sounds like you actually had your coffee this morning. We appreciate that. But my next question is, how can being a single mother with no help, because we know the situations a lot of these chicks are in, they're struggling out here. How can being a single mother who's struggling, has no help, affect maternal happiness?
Being a single mother with no help can significantly impact maternal happiness due to the increased challenges and responsibilities that come with parenting alone. Here are some ways in which it can affect maternal happiness. Emotional strain. Single mothers often experience emotional strain from juggling multiple roles and responsibilities without support. This can lead to feelings of overwhelm, stress, and exhaustion, which can diminish maternal happiness. Financial stress. Single mothers may face financial difficulties due to being the sole provider for their family. Financial strain can impact their ability to provide for their children's needs and can contribute to feelings of worry and anxiety, thereby affecting maternal happiness. Limited time for self-care. Without help, single mothers may have limited time for self-care and personal fulfillment. Constantly attending to the needs of their children without taking time for themselves can lead to burnout and decreased maternal happiness.
Mercy.
Social isolation. Single mothers may feel socially isolated due to the lack of support from a partner or extended family members. Feelings of loneliness and isolation can negatively impact maternal happiness and overall well-being. Parenting challenges. Single mothers may encounter unique parenting challenges, such as making major decisions alone, dealing with behavioral issues without support, and managing household responsibilities single-handedly. These challenges can add to stress and feelings of inadequacy, affecting maternal happiness. Limited support network. Without help, single mothers may lack a strong support network to turn to during difficult times. The absence of emotional and practical support can make it harder for them to cope with the demands of parenthood, impacting maternal happiness. Despite these challenges, it's important to note that many single mothers find fulfillment and joy in their role as parents. Seeking support from friends, family, support groups, and community resources can help mitigate some of the negative effects and enhance maternal happiness. Additionally, practicing self-care, setting realistic expectations, and finding moments of joy and gratitude in the parenting journey can also contribute to greater maternal happiness.
And so, we know that single mothers typically have a hard time raising children alone. We hear them complain all the time about the lack of help from the men who they chose to have children with. And so if you choose to let Pookie get you pregnant, and now you're complaining about how you're unhappy and struggling, and now your maternal happiness is being affected, then yes, that will significantly impact your children. The other thing too that she didn't include, which maybe she didn't understand this, but she was wrong about in that video, is when the guy said the father in the home, she said absolutely not. That's not true. The study also plainly stated that both happiness, maternal happiness, and marriage are significant in a child's upbringing, as in they play significant roles. And let's not forget another point in that study summary was that marital satisfaction and happiness are separate factors influencing child's outcome. And the truth is, for you to even begin to have the conversation of marital satisfaction, you need to have a husband. You need to have a husband. And then the last point talked about paternal presence being a beneficial thing, and that's let's ask Ms. Coffee, what is paternal presence? I think it's important we make that known.
Paternal presence refers to the involvement, participation, and availability of a father figure in a child's life. This includes not only physical presence but also emotional and supportive presence. Paternal presence involves activities such as spending time with the child, engaging in caregiving tasks, providing emotional support, and being actively involved in the child's upbringing and development. It encompasses the father's role in nurturing, guiding, and supporting the child's growth, well-being, and overall development.
All right, so one of the key points when it came to paternal presence is they said it was beneficial for discipline and supervision, but contributed less significantly to child skill formation. And I'm not surprised by that because the study focused on children within the ages of like 3 to 7. I understand why, because those are significant years for trauma development, the things we often deal with, the things we went through when we were young. And at that age, women usually want to take the majority of responsibility with raising that child, not all responsibility, but majority of the responsibility. Also based on the fact that they're more bonded with that kid, with that oxytocin bonding process. So all of this is not surprising to me at all. And the response she gave of absolutely not was absolutely false. Right? At the end of the day, the majority of women's problems out here can be solved by finding a man to cooperate with. And I mean single mothers, okay? I'm not talking about the woman who doesn't want marriage or doesn't want kids, etc. Don't do that. Don't do that. In my own personal opinion, this is just my own personal opinion, not backed up by any data. I don't think there's anything happier than a woman who has a good man. I don't. I do not think I've never met anything happier than a woman who's like, I love my man, he's good, and she's happy with the man that she has. These boss chicks always look upset. Look at Ebony K. Williams. Look at the Drea Michelle's, who's going through it right now. 40 years old, purposely trying to put herself in a position of being a single mother while she may have the financial burden they're covered. Chances are she will fall short in places like discipline and supervision. Those are usually factors. There's a study that says kids have the same chance of staying out of jail if they're raised up in a single father household than they would if they're raised up in a two-parent household. Discipline is important in the long run. Probably keep your daughter off the pole, etc. And those things matter. Listen, that's it. Of course, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Leave your comments down below. As always, I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pot. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.